Guys, welcome back to the University of Smooth here in the middle of the Midwest. A nice dusky late afternoon, early evening time out there for Nick's in the Dark, the internet's leading expert on unattractive behavior, to bring it fast and bring it hard just for you. What have we got today? We've got a little math problem today. I know we don't discuss math a whole lot at the University of Smooth, but we have ourselves a love quadrangle today. This is the strange irony that is desire. Take this with a mathematical air of simplicity, baby. Let's keep this simple. This is a textbook example. We are at the university where we have to use simplistic examples, but life is a messier version of this. Got a cat here. He's not part of the love triangle, but he knows desire. He desires me because I am owner to him. You've got two guys and two girls. Off you go. Two guys, two girls. First guy, first girl, dating, madly in love. First girl adores first guy. We'll call him Ted, and we'll call her Stephanie. Stephanie loves Ted a lot. You know what Stephanie does when she's not with Ted? She is telling her friend Carmela all about Ted. She's like, Ted is awesome. Ted is so conscientious. Ted is so thoughtful. He's deep. He's really intelligent. He's charming. He's got a big dick, and he's really good at using it. Then we have Anthony. Anthony is buddies with Ted. Anthony is a little taller than Ted, a little more jacked than Ted. He's got a little bit better job than Ted. And on top of that, he's like a little hotter. Just all around a little hotter. But he may lack in a few of these small areas that we know and love. His social command maybe just a little off. His body language just a little bit off. But he's not a complete doofus zombie. He's a real dude. Anthony, Ted, couple of buddies. Ted has got the love of Stephanie in his back pocket. Now, what's Carmela thinking? Carmela's available. Who of these two does Carmela go after? Guys, we already know the answer. This is part of the fun here at the University of Smooth. It's not knowing the answer. You and I both know she wants Ted. She wants Ted and not Anthony. The trick is showing your work. That's what we are all about here at the University of Smooth. Why is it that she wants Ted, despite the fact that Anthony has got a few good, rock-solid measurables? For all we know, his dick might even be bigger. We're not even sure. What is it about this equation that is so complicated? Ted and Anthony both will be happy to hook up with Stephanie and Carmela. Will they, based on some preconceived notion of loyalty? Debatable. But why? Well, in this math problem, we have decided they both have a pretty nice ass. And you know us here, not us at the University of Smooth, but us human beings, we are an ass-first species, just like every other species. We focus in on that and we say, hey, fertile, yes, fertile, excellent. One for fertile. I think I am interested, even though I'm dating Stephanie. I may not follow through on it, but fertile, interested. That's how it works. Carmela over here is looking at both of these guys, and she has a few measurables on both, but on all of the immeasurable stuff. Ted is leading by a country fucking mile. Why? Because of social proof. That nice little shorthand in which Carmela is going to let her friend do the hard work of figuring out whether this guy has the goods. She has to figure that out on her own when it comes to Anthony. She doesn't know whether he's going to be a real fucking creep when it comes to getting her from point A to point B. And also, let's be fair to Carmela, it is on Anthony to actually ask her out and display some interest and maybe try to advance his cause. So Anthony has some responsibility here, but let's just keep this fairly neutral for now. Let's just assume that we have a tight-knit group where there's enough conversation going on back and forth. She has had ample opportunity to assess Anthony's intangibles, and she has also heard an earful, a fuck ton of details from Stephanie on just how awesome Ted is. That is going to win every single time. If there's an appreciable difference or there's other intangibles that Anthony brings to the equation that we've left out of this little math problem, then perhaps. But she is going to go with what she knows. And Stephanie did that work for her. Now it's up to her to decide whether she will steal her friend's man. This is perhaps a tragic irony, even when you consider how much a lot of women struggle with relationships, they will end up fighting over Ted. They will end up competing with each other to get Ted's attention and to get Ted's affection. And if Ted is like your average guy and he knows how to parcel out his affection, he will make time for both of them for as long as he's able to do that. Yes, tragic, ironic. It's actually more ironic than tragic, but it is both. It's the human species. We have these ways that we deal with life, and this is not some sort of nefarious plot by women to figure out how to screw you over. It is what they do defensively, because taking on the risks of vetting a guy on their own is difficult. They will always choose a known commodity over an unknown commodity, especially if that unknown commodity is not doing enough to establish his value and assert his value within the dynamic. Where does it leave you? You are here because you're struggling to figure out how to find your place in the wider culture of the female species, try to figure out what you can do to be noticed by women. Your strategy, build that value, get out there, build relationships, build connections, build social circles, do everything you can, especially on a social level, to cultivate all sorts of connections so that when you are going about life, navigating your social scene, you will see people show more and more interest. And the irony always is that once one starts to show interest, especially if that interest is visibly signaled to another, she is inviting her own competition into her life. It's unavoidable. This is what women do when they love men. They essentially put a big, huge target on that man's back and say, come get him because he is fucking worth it. We get into areas like commitment, marriage. These are breakers that society has invented to try and make this system more fair. We don't really deal with fair here. We deal with what is reality. This is the reality that you live in. The only way you can make this work to your advantage is to build value, demonstrate value, and assert value. We are here to help you do that every step of the way. Class dismissed. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and follow You Have Smooth for more content.